Hello, Star Wars CCG players, fans, and folks who just want to hang out with me on a Sunday night. Garrett Larson here, Deadbody on Slack and the forums and basically everywhere else, bringing you some GEMPC action. Sorry, just got to type something up here. I learned long ago I can talk or I can type, but doing both at the same time just doesn't friggin' happen. So, uh, like I said, we are bringing you some GEMPC action. This is the round of 32. It is Daniel Amor, Heisenberg, as the higher seed, starting with Dark, against Andrew Moss, who will be playing light side. This is the battle of second place, as Andrew just recently took second in the Jawa Cup, and Daniel took second at the San Diego Super Open. So these guys are used to not winning, but they're going to have to pull one out here. VHD, thank you very much for subscribing with Prime. So we've got My Kind of Scum from Daniel with Salacious Crumb Virtual as the rep versus Mind What You Have Learned from Andrew. Mind What You've Learned is going to be interesting to watch because Andrew is a spectacular player, but very much forces thematic play. Like, he's not going to have some cards in here that we might otherwise expect because they just don't fit the theme of the deck. So the fact that he wins as much as he does is super interesting. Daniel starts with Power of the Hutt v Jabba's Haven and Crush the Rebellion. And Andrew starting with no disintegrations per his objective, and then battle plan, draw their fire, and a good blaster at your side. So I think he's hoping to get pings going. Drains can be a little hard to get through against My Kind of Scum. So you need to get damage going where you can. This will be interesting because Test 2 can definitely mess with Daniel and needing to have 6 ability, but there's a lot of aliens in this deck that draw if unable to otherwise, and a lot of the other stuff doesn't really impact him. Like, he's still getting +2 to the battle destiny. Yeah, Yoda can reduce the attrition, but like, the battle destiny is the power number. That's the one that matters. And there's just not a lot, like, a lot of what Jedi testing does, Daniel should be decently able to counteract. Like, Jedi testing wants to set up, and Daniel wants him to set up. Dan wants Andrew to set up so he can go jump him with a bunch of aliens and start wrecking things. So we see Dan's just getting started. He's searching with Jabba's Palace to get, I'm sure, the audience chamber and also figure out, like, which of my aliens are in here. No Bargain was recently removed from the game that used to pull Salacious Crumb, but Salacious Crumb is his rep. He's got 5 or 6 in there. It wouldn't shock me at all to see here's Jabba, here's Scum, here's Bib, here's Crumb. Come get some. Like, that's just, the audience chamber is going to be rough, and there's no easy way to say that. And I don't know if Andrew's got the cards to go contest the audience chamber. Like, the fact that Salacious Crumb protects everybody or all leaders from weapons, and he is a leader from My Kind of Scum, just is it makes for a real hard spot. So I do say I think Dan's slightly favored in this match. I'd love to hear other people's thoughts in chat, obviously, but I do think Daniel is slightly favored in this matchup. I don't know what the other side is yet, but it'll be interesting. You know, you cannot count out Andrew, and because he plays such creative and thematic decks, sometimes it's hard to figure out what you want to play against him. Oh, Daniel must have activated one of the key components that he needed to pull in the Jabba Bib Scum chain, as he's just going to draw. That's not actually terrible for him. Like, he's not really in a rush. There's no need to risk this. There is no try is an interesting pull. If memory serves, the objective says they can't. Basically, he's not going to sense. And Virtual Alter combo is immune to there is no try, so you won't lose the 2. It's already a lost interrupt. And I do like the oppressive enforcement. Like, that's make sure if you lose something, it goes to used. All right, so Dan must have drawn into what he needed and used Masterful Move to go grab Gick, or he realized it was his last card and said, well, I can Masterful for it, so then it'll be in my reserve deck so I can go get it next turn. Which is one of those things that's like, it seems like a little thing, but that is a super solid play. Like, that was a real smart play by Daniel. It's the little things like that that really do separate sometimes the really good players from us mortals. So we got another subscribe. 51 months. Good golly, that is a long time. Kiss my Wookie. Thank you very much. While we wait for Andrew to kind of set up and get going, you will get my standard. If you have Amazon Prime, subscribe to the PC channel with Twitch. It costs you literally $0. It does put some money in the PC's pocket that helps pay for things like GEMP servers and prizes and shiny cards, and all of those things are awesome and we all want them. So if you have Prime, subscribe. Costs you nothing. Helps keep the game we are enjoying alive and kicking. So you got my spiel. Thank you very much. There are 3 people, including myself, who recently resubscribed with Prime in there, and I am at 35 months, so my next renewal, I believe, is some more fancy foils. I'll have to keep an eye on that and let Carl know when I have some more fancy foils coming at some point. I'm sure they're just going to all be hand-delivered at Worlds here in Minnesota in October. Andrew's just doing a real standard Jedi test start. I mean, I'm not giving you the play-by-play because, look, you're watching the game. You can see what's going on. He deployed Yoda. He deployed Great Warrior. He deployed Son of Skywalker. He deployed Anakin's lightsaber. He deployed the jungle and the bog clearing. And there's a Yoda's Hope. It's Jedi testing. Anakin's lightsaber is interesting because of Andrew's thematic requirements. He won't use Luke's. That adds 1 to the training destiny because Luke didn't have a lightsaber. He didn't have his lightsaber when he was on Dagobah starting Jedi training. He had Anakin's. So we see the Carbonite Chamber come down from deck as well. This is very straightforward. I can't envision Andrew putting anyone down this turn besides these guys. Like, yeah, and he's just going to pick some up. He only had 4 force. There's no one you can put down that's safe to put down alone. Like, this is just my kind of scum can get brutal real quick. Excuse me. So, talk a little bit about the Crush start you see from Daniel. Crush the Rebellion is there specifically and exclusively to cancel Clash of Sabers. One of the things that could really wreck your day is doing a Clash of Sabers, clashing out Salacious Crumb so that Jabba and Bib aren't protected from weapons, and then shooting. So Crush just says, nope, I can't lose that. And we see the Jedi test draws. We saw a Lando with blaster rifle that Andrew took into hand with Yoda. And then they're tracking us, and I don't need their scum either. I believe he's going to pass it. I think 5 gets him there. 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14, 15. Yeah. Yep. Gemp did the 15 for me as well. I did a lot of Jedi testing back in the day. I do remember the math on that. Looks like Charles, or for some reason I keep wanting to call Daniel Charles. Um, Daniel's using Jabba's Haven to go get Nal Hutta, so that might have been that last card that was in his force pile, and he wasn't able to get last round. Um, there really aren't VHD like that. That's Jabba's Haven and Power of the Hut are the two biggest ones. No Bargain, when it existed, was also important. Like, it was good to be able to pull a Salacious Crumb and drop him. But without that, like, you really, those two effects are perfect. You could always look at starting something like Battle Order First Strike, just to, again, force your opponent to save a force, because beatdowns are absolutely something he needs to worry about. So Daniel went with the force push combo to go get something out of his force pile. So there was something he activated and needed, because he didn't really need the force. And there we see he's going hard though. So he's got the lower passages. He's using Twi'lek Advisor to get the passenger deck. So he's got all his activation out, and now he's just going to be looking to drop guys on whatever Andrew puts down. And like Andrew, I don't know that Andrew can turn this into a drain race. And I don't know how easily he can go try and interact on Tatooine. Like, it'd be kind of amusing to see him just go take over Tatooine, just like in the movies. But I just don't know that the deck is positioned to do that. That's what I'm saying, is I think this is a matchup that favors Daniel a little bit, but he's definitely figuring out the, like, okay, what do I want to deploy? Where do I want to deploy it? Kind of stuff. Excuse me. Beyond the standard, you're going to get Jabba, Bib, Crumb down. So there is Jabba. Jabba's either going to go grab Scum, or he's got Scum. Berm 20, hitting 40 months on Prime. Thank you very much, man. That is awesome. So that is a bunch of months. So there's Scum coming down with Jabba, and here's Andrew waiting until now to play aim high, because there was a chance that he was not being Scum, but no, there wasn't. Like, it was absolutely going to be a Scum deck. There's Chal Beckon. All right, Chal's going to go get a alien mob. And now Chal says, at same and adjacent sites, your aliens deploy -1. Combo that with the -1 from Scum, and guys start dropping real cheap. So there's a free Bib. I'd expect we'll see a free Crumb. So, and once you put Crumb there now, all right, so now everyone is protected from weapons, which is going to make it rough for Andrew. And we see that Daniel took Gor Koresh from reserve deck. He left the Shattered Hope, which would have been a Destiny adder. Shattered Hope V is just a during battle, add a battle destiny. It's a great card for my kind of Scum, where you're drawing, you want to draw bunches of battle destinies at +2. Like, that stuff adds up real quick. But he took Gor Koresh, who says when he's, what does he say? He's battle destinies can't be canceled. Yeah, opponent may not cancel battle destiny. Here, I'm gonna lock that for a second. Opponent may not cancel battle destinies ready of a gangster or a non-maintenance cost bounty hunter. So, like, because Dasemp, we have a plan, is a brutal deck you don't want to face sometimes. And Gar Koresh just says, yeah, I don't care about that. And anything that wants to cancel your battle destinies. So We Have a Plan, Wedge, Red Squadron Leader, even things like the flip side of Close Call, that's Force a Redraw. You Do Have Your Moments, I think it is. Like all of that Gore says no to, and that's huge. The being able to keep your destiny, when you're drawing battle destinies and they're +2, you want those to go through. And most of the dudes in your deck are bounty hunters. Like, it's not that unlikely to be like, all right, I'm going to put Gore at the audience chamber, and then everywhere I have a bounty hunter, my destinies can't be canceled. So, see, this is why I'm here, DasHemp. I'm I am just dropping knowledge on people, the very limited knowledge I have. But yeah, that's why Gore goes into a lot of alien decks, because just that +2, if you're playing against WAP, there's basically no way in this deck to draw a 3 or lower. When you're adding that +2 to everything, like, you're always going to be drawing over 3, so WAP can just be like, all right, I'll just always cancel your battle destinies, and that is bad for you. So Gore says, nope, you're not going to do that, and makes things interesting. So, and yeah, the card efficiency, you can play him, he can grab Grumgar, and then Grumgar is super powerful. So we see the lower corridor come down, and Andrew playing a control tunnel vision to go get, wait, mommy, go fetch something out of his 15-card force pile. And he got something. Let's see what it is. I'm wondering if he, knowing that my kind of scum could be a little obnoxious, if he went for if he built the deck with some sort of answers for Salacious Crumb, like a choke or something along those lines. That would be really interesting. And this is all online, so when he plays choke, I'm not going to be able to Kool-Aid Man and go running into things. So VHD, what Mind What You've Learned V tends to do is, it's a very different deck here. I'll pull it up. It starts with a lot of things, and then we'll see the flip side when it comes up. It wants to do a lot of ping damage, and then it starts draining where it drains when it's on the flip side, which you can flip at any time. You can flip. You just take Luke into hand, and the Jedi tests are suspended unless Luke's on table. But you can flip at any point, and then what you're trying to do is plink and cause a bunch of it. And yeah, Berm hit it exactly. I think you're going to see them. I think you're going to see Andrew trying to just go, I'm going to hold one site. I'm going to hold it with Han, Leia, 3PO, drain for 2 off reserve, ping for 1 with the gun, ping for 1 with 3PO, and Daniel's going to be just trying to go wreck that at all points. Like, Daniel's just going to be, all right, well, I'll just keep throwing bodies at you and retrieving 2 with scum and trying to get it done. So, and we see the Mandalorian mishap to go get Leia's blaster rifle. So yeah, Leia's gun makes a ton of sense. We're in draw phase, so you're getting ready for Leia's gun, but Leia's gun doesn't scare Daniel right now. Like, there's nothing he's worried about with Leia's gun, because Leia's gun can't do anything to the audience chamber unless he's got something like a choke and he wants to come down and be like, all right, I'll choke Salacious and then go in. And we see local defense put that down to get an independent starship into hand. I think Guts is somewhat likely. I'll be honest, if he has Guts in the deck, I think he starts it. Like, if you have Guts in the deck, you start it over a good blaster, and you don't try and wait and hope you find it. So he gets Booster in Pulsar Skate, which is fine. I don't know that I think that might be as much of a cycle of four, take a two out of the deck and make it a four as anything, because I just can't see wanting to drop booster and skate out in Alhutta and just my kind of scum isn't quite court. Like court can pull ships from reserve with the objective, and court can just do scary things in space, but you're still like when Daniel flips, space is going to get hairy real quick. So, and Daniel's going to flip, and we see he pays 3 to drain for 1, which I don't hate. Honestly, this is match play. He's got a bunch of force. He's got 14 force still and 12 cards in hand. Like, pay the 3 to drain for 1 because there's no way you're going to draw in. There's no way you're going to need all of that force to do that. And that also flips a Jedi test on patience. Yep, it flips a Jedi test, so it can't be used. You have to do... you'd knock out whatever test you want, but it's... You have to do something to turn him face up, and I don't remember offhand what it is. As we see, he's passing the test. Yeah, you could really face up Jedi tests. There is a way to turn one of them back. But yeah, 4 and 5 are just, you don't care. You're never going to do them. And honestly, I don't think he'll go to 3. Like, he passed test 2 here. And we see Andrew takes I don't like sand into hand. Yep, that's what I was thinking, Berm. I knew there was a card to do it. I don't think it matters particularly to him right now. So we did see the Yoda taking I don't like sand, which is big because so he'll have 2 turns or he'll have 2 battles where he's not going to eat the +2, which is good. And he's going to have to make the best use of that. And there we see the alien mob and Gar Koresh. So he gets the flip. And again, knowing there's sand is coming, you're still okay with that. Like, you make him put out sand and you just burn through it. So yeah, honoring what they fight for. So oddly enough, in the naming conventions for our game, because there isn't a card titled Honoring What They Fight For, there is no it's not Honoring What They Fight For V, it's just Honoring What They Fight For. Yeah, Worm Time, there's no... Getting to test 5 is not worth the effort because test 4 is so silly. Like, yes, you're right. If he wanted to go all the way through test 5, he would shut down my kind of scum's ability to reset those destinies. But it's just not really worth it. Like, it takes long enough to get through there that by the time you get there, you're just losing. And, like... Also, my kind of scum's generally okay with your destinies getting drawn. Like, this is not... You cancel the destinies to work in, start causing overflow and, beat things down. Like, this is scum. You're totally fine saying, all right, I'm going to throw Shizor, who draws if unable to otherwise, add a guy, battle, retrieve 2, kill a guy with destiny, and lose Shizor, and then repeat. And repeat. Like, you don't necessarily want to leave your aliens sitting there after the battle because they're not as good. So you're perfectly happy just like, I'm going to throw him at you, I'm going to retrieve 2, I'm going to lose him, and do it again next turn. And with scum, you're just grinding them out of guys because every time you do that, you're netting a card back and they're losing a guy. So there's test 3. Test 3 is a little interesting that he's running it with Luke, but I think it is. He's getting there easily enough. There's no reason not to. Let's see, what is the... So test 4, you got to get to 15. You got to crack 15. So that's 5, 6. I mean, yeah, like that's the other thing is test 4 is actually hard to pass. Ooh, I'm not a fan of Coruscant in this. So the 6 ability is good, and I talked about that earlier. Like that could be a problem, but there's so many guys in this deck now that draw if unable to otherwise, that the 6 ability is potentially less of an issue. And we see the wild card with Lando and Boshek. My concern with that is if Daniel's got space, none of it is Imperial, so everything drops for -3 at Coruscant. And there we see the sand. The other thing we could absolutely see Daniel do is just say, okay, well, you're going to lock at Coruscant. I'm going to drop my guys at Nal Hutta now and say thanks. Because you can just cancel that Coruscant drain. Like, yeah, then you can't. Then you're not getting the... You're potentially not canceling Battle Destinies, but you're probably still okay with that. Like, you're just, okay, well, then you're not doing any damage. Like, find something to do. But yeah, the 6 ability, actually, Worm Time, you're talking more than 2 aliens in most cases, because a lot of the aliens are ability 2 or 3. So, like, you need 2 ability 3 guys just to draw Destiny, so if you don't cancel theirs, you lose one of these back. Welcome. Name I'm not going to say on a family-friendly podcast. Glad you're able to join us and watch one live. This is, a lot of fun. God, we got 25 people on here. Folks are wanting to see this GEMPC. Again, I'm going to stream as much of these as we can. Once we get into the round of top 8, we will absolutely be streaming the GEMPC top 8. It's these early ones. It is something we will talk about, and the tournament committee will talk about for next year and next round, and see what we want to do. So, and we see Andrew just cycling back some 5s. Like, he wants them to draw for the Jedi test, which is fine. It's easy enough to run those, and that's really what he wants, is just get those 5s out of his hand, get them in deck so he can start drawing them for things, and then he's fairly happy. So with sand, I don't know that it's worth... that is absolutely a reference AJ does not get, Mike. With sand, I don't know that it's worth necessarily going at Coruscant right now. Like, you are going to struggle there. And again, you might not need to. Like, if I'm Daniel, I think I'm probably happy just going, all right, I'm going to throw my ships at Nal Hutta, and I'm going to make you come to me. Because I'm draining for free, and it's spread out, so you can't easily just stop it. And you're draining for 3 at one spot, which means I can just crumb and move on. And then wait until you've burnt the 2 cards off sand, and then go to space with multiple destinies. We see here Daniel activates a pile. He's activated all 19 force. He says, well, something's going to happen, and we're going to make it fun. He might even pay to drain here. Gosh, that feels so bad, but like, the reality is Andrew's already down to 17 cards in deck. Like, they both have 15 cards in hand. Andrew's got 17 in deck. Daniel's got 25. And there we see Andrew loses your insight serves you well, which was probably in there just to pull honor against something like a hunt down deck. So again, we do see, like, those are some of the tech cards that you're putting into, like, okay, if I face this deck, if my opponent is on it, and Daniel certainly has played Hunt Down V and Hunt Down before, like that's a valid card to be valid thing. You just alt start. Probably instead of Good Blaster, you go Insight, sack it to get honor, and drop honor. There we see Daniel playing the Twilight Advisor to deploy the Passenger Deck or Pit. Shockingly enough, that one card in his reserve deck was not the Pit. So Passenger Deck's already in play. He certainly could have used, I mean, he could theoretically use those to go grab alien leaders as well and deploy them to the audience chamber. I don't think he needs to. Like, the alien leaders he wants right now, really, he wants Proxima. And he doesn't necessarily want Proxima anywhere but on Jabba Space Cruiser at Nal Hutta, or he may not be running that for space. I don't know. Daniel's a teammate, but I don't know what is exactly in his deck because I try and do these streams without knowing that. He throws out Hondo alone. Okay. I think he's trying to bait Andrew into doing something, and there we see Prince Shizor as well. So both those guys are ability 3, but draw if unable to otherwise. The big thing he's got to worry about is we saw Leia's gun. So if I'm Andrew, I'm going to be dropping and going with it. I mean, Greedo could react. You're fine with that. Greedo doesn't move the needle on the react there. Like, you're already drawing Battle Destiny either way. I think this is mostly Dan just saying, hey, I'm going to start threatening a couple drains of 2 unless you come do something. And there we see Andrew playing another local defense, put that down to go search for a 3rd independent starship. He, shockingly enough, does not find one. But yeah, I mean, Greedo could absolutely be in the deck. I'd be more surprised if he's not. I just don't know that reacting with him is necessarily all that impactful, especially where Leia comes down, because you could end up like, if he drops Leia on top of Shizor or Hondo, if you react down with Greedo, they're like, okay, well, fine, I'll pay 2 and shoot Hondo, and now you have Greedo alone just getting murdered. So we'd rather not, he would rather not have that happen. So Andrew activates. He's got 17 in his reserve right now, or 17 down. So, like, he might pay 3 to drain for 3, but then you're down to 10 force to deploy multiple guys and do something, which is not ideal. And there, yep. So he grabs Luke with, he flips the objective and takes Luke into hand. And this is saying, so you flip the objective at any time, you immediately return Luke to his hand. Well, this side up, you can deploy Luke and a weapon on him as a react. And you can place a Jedi test, complete a Jedi test out of play to retrieve a Cloud City Rebel into hand. When your Rebel force drains at a battleground site, unless a captive on table, lost force must come from the reserve deck if possible. So now we see Son of Skywalker going down in front of Hondo. So they might play VHD, they might play Galed. They're not going to do it because of Test 1. And Mike, if he played Jabba's Twerps, he retrieves like 6 right now. Jabba, Bib, Crumb, Shawl, Shizor, and Hondo are all leaders. So there's the, so we got Luke's saber, Luke with his saber, Leia with her gun. And like I said, I think this was as much a, I need you to put guys out so I can go do something, because Scum wants to attack people. And he puts Captain Han to back up Leia. I mean, he starts battles for free with Battle Plan. So he can battle and pay 1 to shoot. That's fine. And like, so here we're battling at the lower corridor. Luke versus Hondo. Correct. Well, it's Lightside doesn't have any bonus. There's no bonus on Cloud City. If he was going to be able to drain there, he'd drain for 2 because there's 2 icons. So, and there we see Hondo gets hit. We did not see, like, normally I think Andrew would have liked to take that Ahsoka into hand. But if he's planning to battle Shizor, he can't. So that was the right play. And there we see the Imperial Assault, which adds 2 to his total power, but also is a 7. Like, that's a really good card when you have a bunch of battlegrounds to have floating around there. Yeah, Carbonate Chamber, I believe, is a drain of 1. Yeah, the Carbonate Chamber would just be the drain of 1, but that's why he didn't go there. And we see the 4 for Battle Destiny, so Andrew's power 11 with Sun, and we see that Daniel doesn't cancel that. There's no real reason. Odds are you're going to draw pretty close. He draws a 4 as well, subtracts that down to 3, so he's going to be down 2. But more importantly, Luke will be immune because the Yoda's Hut, he can subtract 2 as well, so he was going to be fully immune. So yeah, Hondo goes away. He's going to lose 2 force. He loses a Twi'lek from hand and a Twi'lek from hand, and then Hondo. So I think he's probably hoping to start a couple battles and retrieve those Twi'leks. And there we see the battle at the corridor there. Oh. Okay, so he only has 1 Battle Destiny. He only has 1 Destiny in reserve. And that Greedo, because he only saved 1, Greedo now stops the firing and gives Daniel a body potentially to stay there and fight back next turn. Because you could actually very easily see Shizor die to the Battle Destiny. And there we see the Andrew takes a card off sand. He takes the Captain Han, which I think is him saying, I'm probably going to lose Captain Han. Yeah, Justin, I thought that was a pretty nice play by Daniel, to be honest. Like, Daniel's a teammate. Daniel's a friend. I told Andrew privately, I'm like, I'm rooting for you, but I'm rooting for you to do something stupid so Daniel wins. And Andrew and I chatted before. I don't believe he subtracted from the attrition with Luke because he didn't need to, Justin. He had the... He used the subtract from 1 with test 1. So there's a 5 for Battle Destiny, which is just going to cost him... which is just going to be Shizor, because Greedo is forfeit 4. He's 6 in court. Like, court is when he always... He still has his Yoda's Hut, but Yoda's Hut... Captain Han has no immunity. And he did lose a force with Jabba's Haven to make sure that he got the +2, because it adds to his modifier instead of his total. So yeah, there was no need to use Yoda's Hut. And there went Shizor. So what we're going to have to see... Like, it feels bad for Andrew, but I almost think you might move Princess Leia away. Like, I'm not sure you want her sitting there right now. Yep, that's... he does still have his Haven retrieval, so yeah, that's... Which was smart, so he moved Leia away. Now, the thing is... You could still see, like, Leia's got a gun, but nothing else. As much as Test 2 is obnoxious, like, Prince Shizor does the same thing. And you could absolutely see a Haven for Shizor and go jump somebody. You know, honestly, probably Leia, because you just get rid of her gun. and make something happen. So, and I'm wondering if Daniel's thinking of that. So he drew that they're tracking us for Destiny a little while. So, like, yeah, I mean, he could. There's certainly a tracking us in the deck, and Andrew would need to have it in hand to make something happen. Hey, Ming, thanks for joining us and subscribing with Prime. That's awesome. So, Andrew, or excuse me, Daniel's, I think right now just figuring out, like, what do I want to activate? Where do I want to go here? How much do I want to drain for right away? Because, like, that Greedo drain is going to be solid too, just like here. I'm going to drain for 2 and start doing things. And he also might be wanting to activate to that 7 he has. Because, so the way it reads, Imperial Assault is a 3 that's Destiny +4 when drawn for weapon or battle Destiny. And so even if he sands, so if Andrew takes his second card off sand, then it becomes a 3, but Daniel can then lose a force with MWYHLv to take that modifier to battle Destiny and instead make it to the total. So then he'd be at +6 to battle Destiny again, because he'll get the +4 and then the +2 from his objective. And I think that's what he did. I think he activated to leave that 7 up there, and that's kind of filthy. Like, honestly, he can take out Luke with that. Just, here goes. I think right now he's just figuring out what he wants to do. And there's the MWYHLv. Yep, I mean, pay 1, that's fine. I think you take Shizor. I mean, it's Shizor or it's, yep. As I say, it was either Shizor or Hondo, and Shizor is just so good because, again, Shizor stops Leia or Luke from drawing. Like right now, if you've got that 7, you just drop Shizor on Luke and be like, fine, you hit me. But now I'm stopping you from doing anything. I don't hate dropping him on Leia. As I said, I would have. I think I might have gone big. Oh, and he's got a second guy. So he's got Cad Bane, who also draws if unable to otherwise. And you're fine if Luke dies. Oh. Interestingly enough, Cad will not cancel Luke's immunity, though, because Luke's not a Jedi yet. He didn't pass test 6. So, yeah, Vampire Hunter, no one puts Path in there because the Belden's Corridor site says, Darkside says, you occupy cancels Path of Least Resistance. So that's that can put you in a rough position. Kind of think we're just going to see a couple battles here. A little bit of retrieval, and let's see. Bringing before me, subscribing with Prime as well. That puts you to 12 months. Make sure you email marketing at StarWarsCCG.org or look it up. I don't know exactly what it is, but that gets you fancy foils. Thank you very much, Pierre, for subscribing with Prime. So when we see Dengar with Blaster Carbine, I wonder if Daniel's just saying, you know what, let's just overflow Leia. Like, she doesn't get a Destiny. I can hit her and make her forfeit 0. I can draw a Destiny and add to it. Like, the downside is now, you can still battle with Fett. So I don't believe Darkside can recirculate. And honestly, I think the bigger problem is that, okay, he did not draw to the thing. I think the bigger problem is he no longer can pay the upkeep on. Oh, he had to pay a force to shoot. What did I? Why did he have to pay a force there to shoot there? Oh, no disintegrations. He forgot about it. And there's the Rescue in the Clouds to draw Battle Destiny if unable to otherwise. So he's not going to shoot a second time here. Yep, no disintegrations is the... Forgot that did that, but even... I think you're fine still. Depending on what Andrew draws here, like... That's actually where... yeah, the Dengar, I think, is going to prove to be a mistake because of the no disintegrations. Like, he forgot about no disintegrations, and we did not... Oh, he might use Yoda here and keep Leia alive. Oh, that 2 might actually... I think you gotta Yoda that. Because otherwise it's just Shizor. Oh, never mind. He stops it with the... He cancels it with the objective, so... Leia is down. I mean, you can reduce the attrition, but Leia's still... I mean, you're still down 8 force there. I don't know that you can necessarily just peel that. So I don't love the position Daniel's in here. Oh, there's the no disintegration. So yeah, now you absolutely capture Leia. That's 110% you capture Leia. Yep, Shizor says, I will take you. I think you just battle Son here. Like, you battle Son of Skywalker, you can't retrieve. Yeah, and that's what I was thinking, Justin, is he's got the power of the Hutt to activate 1 to avoid the Greedo beatdown. Like, but what exactly is he going to... Oh, and the Mandalorian mishap to cancel Fett's text is good. So he doesn't need to use sand to keep Son of Skywalker alive. Now he's got to... I mean, now he needs to draw that 7. And we're going to swing at Boba. That makes sense. I mean, it really... You're going to end up wiping the site either way. So... I'm not sure where the 7 was, Tom. It could be the second, although he did just shuffle, so I think he mistracked as well. Because he thought it was, I think he thought he was drawing it with that thing, but there is the 8 for Battle Destiny. So he reduces it by 1 with Domain of Evil, but even with subtracting 2 from Yoda, Son of Skywalker is still going to die. Now, it's unfortunate because he's not hit. Oh, no disintegrations is just once per turn, right? Oh, except Luke. Okay, he doesn't have to capture Luke. So, yeah, Andrew reduces the attrition by 2, but it still is enough to kill Luke, and that's not ideal. Like, yeah, you'll see that's going to suspend all the Jedi tests, which is fine. Like, there are ways to go get Luke back. The fact that he lost Luke with Anakin Saber tells me there might be an Unita. And there's another Imperial Salt to put a card in his force pile to give him another way to... Actually, he might just move Greedo over then. Yep, makes sense. So, smart play by Daniel, and that was... I don't know how many of those he's running in this deck, but that's a smart way to go with it. We'll see what Andrew's plan is here. Like, he's got 18 down and 9 in hand. So he's got a total of 27 force to the 32 that Daniel's got. And he's got to start doing something. None of these answers feel good right now. Like Son of Skywalker, do you just drop him with the saber, kill Shizor, and free Leia and hope? None of these answers feel really like what he wants. And I think Andrew's trying to activating to a specific card and figuring out how many destiny he wants to leave there. And maybe he's going to try and do something really fancy, here's Luke with the saber, kill Shizor. Yep, there. He's going to lose test 3 to take a Cloud City Rebel from Lost Pile into hand. That's on the Patience, I think. He goes and grabs Son of Skywalker. So tests 1 and 2 are back in line. Yeah, the sorry about the mess combo is possible. But, well, Berm, the thing is, he hit Boba instead of Cad. Like, if he had the sorry combo, I think you hit Cad and kill Cad, yeah. And that you kill Cad, then Boba doesn't draw and you're fine. So we see the honoring what they fight for to place a card from Patience out of play to get a character weapon from Lost Pile. That's what we were talking about. So he's got Anakin's lightsaber. He's now getting Battle Destiny, and there's Ashoka's lightsaber as well. He's going to have to pay 1 to fire each of those, though, with Greedo. So, like, he can battle for free, but it's going to cost him Force to use those. And, I mean, I think you potshot Dengar back at Sun. There's no reason not to. Use the Force and take a shot at it. And there's the swing at Shizor. And, yep, he's hit. That's a 5 and something else. So, yep, 5 and 4. So Shizor's hit and forfeit 0. Okay. Yeah, I mean, he'll have the Force to swing twice. So, yeah, I think I might have swung at Dengar simply to stop any firing. So Dengar can't shoot at Sabine, so he's got to take a pot shot at Sun, but I think he's got a 7 on top. Yeah, but Dengar only needs to shoot once. Like, the 7 would be real bad. So I'm wondering does Andrew have like a blaster proficiency? Yeah, blaster deflection, yep. So that's why he didn't bother with Dengar, because he was only going to be able to shoot it once. And he had the deflection because Sabine is immune to permanent weapons. So there we see the shot and chop up of Greedo. And I mean, I think you have to take the card off Sand just to make sure your Battle Destiny goes through, because otherwise Dengar can potentially live and become a problem. There we see another Force loss. I expect those will be a couple cards from hand, but we'll see what they are. Yeah, Justin, he may not have a 7 track. There's an alien mob from hand that he can retrieve, and then the Crumb going to used. And what? Why did he lose 3, or did he? What just happened there? Why did it? It felt like it made him lose 3 instead of 2. Oh, was it the? That's why the Anakin, the saber. Yep. So yep, we do see the Sand draw. So then we're gonna use Jabba's Haven. So you'll get +2 to the total. And again, you're just hoping to draw. You want to draw high enough to kill Sabine, so that you don't have to face her anymore. And now that sand is done is when I think you're going to see a attack up in space. Like, I think this is when you do it. And there's the 3 for Battle Destiny plus 6 to the total. So he draws a 9. Even with reducing it by 2, that's Luke. Like, that's the worst way that could have gone. So it does also mean that was a 7 that would have hit with Dengar and been real rough for Andrew to deal with. So although he is going to get Leia back here, which is good. So there's Greedo goes away. There's Dengar going away. And then finally Shizor going away, which will release Princess Leia. And I imagine Andrew's just going to keep Leia with Sabine. I don't see a benefit in moving and splitting them up. Yep, he keeps them there and saves the 2 Force. Yeah, Sabine plus that saber is going to be like, honestly, you might just be like, okay, you can have that sight. Now I'm going to go after him. I just like that Tom failed to track something, because there's no way, I don't even try and track when I'm commentating. There's too much going on that I know I don't keep enough attention. I don't have enough attention to it. So there we see the Fearless and Inventive retrieve the alien mob, and he'll pay 1 to retrieve it and then get that 1 back from the alien mob. So that is a easy thing. Oh, okay. Did not yeah, he did not choose to get that extra force back. He might not need it. So we see the drain of 1, and he's paying 3 for both drains. I mean, again, he's got a pile of force comparatively because everybody is so cheap in here, and I think you have to just leave that site alone. Like, you're going to have to leave the carbonate chamber alone. So now it's... Yeah, Berm, that's what I was saying. That Coruscant scares me because all of your things are -3 there. So, like, it's just a... What space do I want to drop? All of it? Okay. And instead, we're going to go first light. And I think he just says, you know what, let's turn this into a drain race. Yeah. He used Haven long ago. He used it to get back Prince Shizor. So, which I think was the right call. Like, he used it to get Shizor and then go make that attack on Leia, where she had the rescue in the clouds. And yes, you can't get Fett with Haven. Yeah, Tom, I tend to agree. I think Andrew's out of space, so it's simply he can choose to move over there, maybe, but there's no other space he even conceivably has. And we haven't seen any of it drawn or anything. Like, I don't know what other space you could put in there. Because Lando's already in play, the wild card booster in skate, and yeah, we're going to see a little bit of spread out, I think, here from Justin. I don't know that he is. Like, right now he's ahead in cards because he's got 28 cards to 23, and you don't want to lose the you're going to be canceling one of the drains probably with Crumb. Mike, the reason he started with Oppressive Enforcement, he dropped Oppressive Enforcement. I think that There Is No Try was a bad pull. The Oppressive Enforcement is good because you can sack. You can't use Yoda to target um, sense, you can use Yoda as the target for alter. And what he didn't want to happen was put down scum, have it immediately altered and made lost, and then he's scrambling. So like that was the problem there. So that's why he did. The oppressive enforcement actually was a very good play. There's no try, I think, was unnecessary, but it's yeah, do or do not. There's no try was not a great play because the altar that Andrew's potentially using is immune to it, but the oppressive enforcement was actually a very smart play, I think. And it was I don't think he has this, but if he's running it, it just brutalizes me. So let's plan for it and not lose to it. So yeah, we're going to see the drain here. It's interesting that Daniel spread and left himself with less than 6 ability at all 3 locations, because Andrew could burn test 1 and go get Luke and go at one of the sites on Tatooine potentially. So, yeah, Justin, it'll be 5 if one of them isn't canceled with Crumb. That's the thing, is right now he's probably doing 3 damage because I'm assuming Crumb cancels the drain of 3, and then it's a drain of 2 and a ping of 1. And the 2 comes off reserve, which is mildly obnoxious. So there's the I never asked for anything twice, which is another good go get a card. And yep, there's the Salacious Crumb to cancel the Coruscant drain. Andrew does need to find another alien mob just to get Crumb off his objective. So he's got 2 up there right now, and he needs a little bit more. And the ping of 1, which is the imbalance combo from reserve deck. And then Daniel activates 1 with power. So now they both have 17 down, and Daniel's got 2 more cards in hand, 8 to 6. But Andrew's got to do something here. Yeah, so, and exactly what I said, he's putting Great Warrior out of play to go get Luke. And if he's coming at him on Tatooine, I think he's going to have to run to. So he's putting him in front of Jabba and Bib. The other card that could still be floating around is another Greedo, because you can react with Greedo and get your Battle Destiny through even with the Jedi Strength. So we see Captain Han going to go get his gun from Lost Pile. So yeah, I mean, I think Daniel got a little aggressive with that move out, like knowing that he could go get Sun back. And Daniel does not have a Greedo or anyone to react with. This is bad. He hits Bib. It's a 1. He hits Bib. This is less than ideal. So, because you also can't cancel the Battle Destiny with Crumb, because it's already been canceled once. Jabba is immune to less than 4. So I don't think Bib makes him. Oh, well, with Jabba is immune to attrition. Yeah. Bib makes Jabba fully immune. So he loses Bib, and he can lose a couple Force. Yep, and there's the tentacle. and Bib, and one more. There went the 7. Now the problem is you can't sit in front of Captain Han because that gun is going to put in a lot of work. So I'm not sure what his plan is right now. Again, I think that was an aggressive spread when he could still go get Luke back and do exactly what he did there. I think that was a misplay by Daniel. I think Andrew took advantage of it and is playing this very well. And I think Daniel may have just not had the answers to go to space, and that was a problem as well. Like, he had to wait until sand got thrown. I think the Boba Fett with CAD might have been overkill, but you needed to get that draw out. But it meant he can't go after him nearly as easily. So Andrew's got to figure out, does he move away from Jabba? Or does he do anything? So what does Crumb do? Crumb is... All right, so Crumb can move over and protect all the leaders there from weapons again. And we see Andrew moves the wild card over, leaves Booster and Skate alone. Okay. I mean, this is where if there's other space besides First Light, this is where you jump it. So I don't love it because I think you're running the risk of Booster and Skate now getting jumped and then being ahead of the space race. But I don't know that it's terrible. Like, Booster and Skate still functionally immune to a whole bunch. Granted, getting to 7 is not that hard with this deck. Although with Bib gone, it's a lot harder because you're not getting the +2 to everything. So I just don't see a lot of value in it. Like, that Drano 1 is certainly not moving the needle particularly. I mean, it is match play. You don't want to lose cards, but that Drano 1 is not that big of a deal. And we see he activates all of it. And honestly, you might just see let's move Jabba and let's move Crumb and Shawl in there and say, I'm fully immune to your weapons. You can draw Battle Destiny, I can draw Battle Destiny. Vampire Hunter, I'm not actually sure. I know this is very late for Andrew, as he's East Coast, but Daniel's West Coast, so it's like right in his normal time. He did not... I didn't get a move. So he has to play a pilot on the ship, or he has to drop another ship on... He dropped a second ship in front of Booster to get that battle, get that beat through, and then move First Light. Like, and force that wild card to come to him. So there we see the retrieving a non-unique rep, or non-unique species. And, all right, Daniel said, no, I'm not going to pay with aim high. This is where this gets interesting. Like, I think this is probably the turn that turns this game. All right, so there's a Boba Fett bounty hunter. We know he's played the Mandalorian Mishap, but I don't know if he's got another one. And he needs another bounty hunter up there. And there's Aura Singh, who's just exists to be there. And the battle order first strike, so he can battle for free as well. There's Crush to look at what he's got in there, because he's now drawing 3 Battle Destinies. Yeah, Tom, I'm expecting he moves the leaders in and just says, all right, come battle me. You can, kill a couple guys with attrition. I kill a guy with attrition. And because Crumb protects all leaders at all times, that's a frustrating spot. And depending on how good he draws here, without the +2, it stinks a little bit, but like he can potentially do nasty things because Boshak does a one string battle may use one force to subtract from a Just John Destiny. So he can do that. And then, oh, there's Grumgar. I don't see any point for Grumgar there. Like, Grumgar just gets shot by Han's gun in control phase. There's absolutely no reason to put Grumgar there. That was a wasted card. You're not getting anything out of it. So we do see he retrieves 2. Yep, so Tom agrees with me. Should have saved Grub. It's utterly worthless. So, and then puts a card back to give himself enough to move. I mean, he might end up losing Fett up in space just to try and move. Oh, he had another Mandalorian mishap to cancel Fett's text. That is rough. And Daniel hasn't grabbed anything yet. That might have been the card to grab. So that's rough. That is definitely not what he wanted to have happen. Because now he's going to end up losing Fett probably. And then have to run away with the first light, I think. He's not going to get the 3 Battle Destinies through. That was rough. I'm not actually sure what he does here right now. Ugh. And he just draws a 2, which is completely worthless. I mean, I think you have to cancel the Battle Destiny. You've got to crumb the Battle Destiny here and force him to find that Mando again. There's the Honor of the Jedi that we talked about a lot earlier. Yep. So he's going to cancel Battle Destiny with Honor. So problem is, unless he's got another Imperial Assault, he's still a force short of what he needs to do. He loses Proxima off the top, which is fine. And Andrew says, yep, I'm immune, fine. So he's got to move Chawl and Crumb over. That's cute. The problem is Grumgar has hurt him because it stopped him from being able to move Chawl. The 2 force he paid for Grumgar was he really needs that 2 force right now. There's the Imperial Assault, okay. And wisely getting grabbed, which is a huge problem right now. I think you have to just recirculate and pay 2, and you're going to eat a bunch of drains now. Like, Andrew has played this very, very well and has had the answers when he needed them. And Daniel's played, I think, a little bit loose with how he can do things here. Like, this matchup has not gone as well as he'd wanted it to. And honestly, if I'm Andrew here, I'm activating down to the mishap. I'm shooting Grumgar, so I draw the mishap and then causing the redraw. Oh, never mind. Great Warrior's not on table. He can't cause the redraw with Yoda. So, yeah, space is potentially an issue, but, like, Andrew survived it and he just moves away. I don't know about 3 mishaps. I had 2 at most because you're playing Sabine and you're playing a couple blasters, but, like, 3 would be massive overkill. So he activates and only leaves one. This is game one, Batmouse. The only leaving one is interesting, unless he's got a way to recirculate. I think he drew a bunch of fives. I didn't think they were all mishaps, though. I thought one of them was the I don't need their scum either and something else. He very likely has two. Two, I think, would make sense with how much we've seen it. So there's a drain of 3 at Coruscant. I think you just got to eat it. I think you need to save the Battle Destiny Canceller for at the audience chamber. Yep. There's Twi'lek, Hondo, and Django. There's a drain of 2. There went the Bib and the Alien Mob. We'll use Power of the Hut to activate one. And here's a ping. Like, he's going to grind it down some, but I do think that Andrew has this game won. The thing is, Andrew doesn't have a lot of... Yeah, Mike, it probably is. It could also be a Salacious Crumb. Like, Gick would be... The fact that he left Shawl unprotected like that says it might have been Gick, but he wasn't intending to do that with the grab on the assault. Yeah, he was not expecting to not have Chawl. And there's Ahsoka and Ezra Bridger coming down on top of Chawl, so he's... Ooh. And there's the battle. It's not a Greedo. This is potentially bad. So there's the 5 for Battle Destiny. So, if this isn't Gick, this is rough. Okay, so the last one was the Gick. He did have it. I wasn't sure if he did or not because of the way, again, like he got stuck without moving Chawl. I actually think Andrew might have not played that perfectly because he should have been able to shoot at Grumgar. Like, he could have just taken a pot shot with Han's gun and eliminated Grumgar and then started a battle and killed, you leave one more. You got to leave 2 more Destiny, like you're out of force, but now Andrew's spreading and says, hey, let's go. I think you fly away at Nal Hutta. I just don't see any point to staying at Nal Hutta and risking getting blown out there. And we see him move Sun over. Unless he's got another mishap. I mean, I think he has to, but I don't know. I'm honestly not sure it matters. Like, I think basically Daniel has to clear the wild card right now, and I don't think he can. And there he moves Ahsoka over with Han because, yeah, otherwise Han was going to get battled. So, all right, Andrew says I'm going to leave it at that. So I'm sure the 4th generation, yeah, okay, well, I'll subtract, I'll take 2 less, fine. Like right now, Daniel's doing no damage because he can't drain. I think you have to battle in space and hope. Like, I think that's your only play right now is to go for the... I think you activate, yep. I think you retrieve your alien mob because you want to keep cards back. But, like, you're not actually causing any damage right now. And if Andrew's got another mishap, you're done. because you're not going to get anything through in space. And then I think you have to, yeah, just flee and go to Coruscant, and none of that's good. So there, we do see the battle. I'm going to pay 2 to retrieve 2. Get back the Gick and the Chawl. And do we see another mishap? Nope, no mishap. So there's a 3. And Andrew gets the option to subtract 1 with Boshek and a 3. So he's up to 6, which, I mean, he can't get enough to kill the ship, I don't think, unless he draws the 7 here. And a 5. So that is 11, which can be, or 10. If you reduce it to 8, it's still going to be both pilots, which is bad. And the 3 that you're fully immune to, I think you just let go, yeah. Even at 5, you go, I guess you lose aura and say, okay. Like, it's less than ideal, but you're still killing both Boshek and Lando. So, which is good, but I don't know what else you're doing here, because you're going to get drained for a bunch. Yep, he did subtract 2 with Yoda's Hut, because it was a 10 he drew. So he didn't even need to subtract with Yoda's Hut, because the 10 was going to be his Boshek and Lando anyways. And there we see the battle at the audience chamber. And we're going to retrieve a couple more force, apparently. I don't love that. I guess, well, okay, so you can move 1 with the alien mob, and then, because you're going to have to pay 1 to move to Coruscant, because you have to go contest Coruscant. Nope, he's not. He's doubling Grungar's power. I don't love the way this has been played. So, yep, Grumgar is hit. And forfeit 0, which, I mean, you're probably losing everybody anyways. I just don't, like, you were a force short. So there's the 6 for Battle Destiny, which kills Ahsoka. Like, if I'm Andrew, I'm keeping Feta. Oh, that's real bad. So what makes that real bad is 3 means he can forfeit Jabba or Crumb. He can't forfeit them both. So one of them has to stay there. He's got 16 cards left. He's going to eat a drain of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, this is going to be about it for Daniel, unless he's got a rabbit in his hat somewhere. So he's got to pay 2 to keep Fett alive. And he's going to get drained for, yeah, like 10 force, which will drop him down to 6. Jabba's going to get battled. Jabba's going to get shot. Jabba's going to eat overflow. This is, yeah, Mando was huge. Again, like, I don't love the lines Daniel took there. Like, he spread out when he killed Luke and spread out, and I don't think he realized that Andrew could just put Test 1 out of play and go get Luke again, and then keep Test 2 in action. Like, the Test 2 was the problem. So, but yeah, that mishap was huge twice, and that's all there is to say about it. Like, that mishap was just big. And Andrew pulls Sabine, pulls blasters, and cancels Fett's text. I don't remember if there's anything else it does. It does those things, and those are the big ones. So pulling Sabine and the blasters is the big one. And then yeah, the cancel Fett's text. So there we see the drain of 3. Oh yeah, for sure. It's a great card in here no matter what, and going to 2 isn't a terrible play anyways, because like, you want the Leia's gun, you want the Han's gun, you want Sabine. Like, putting in 1 or 2 is super reasonable. Those are good cards, and honestly, the Rescue in the Clouds was a huge card as well, and Daniel forgetting the no disintegrations text that made him pay to shoot with Dengar. Like, there was a bunch of things that Daniel missed, I think, that would have definitely made the game a lot nastier. So, yep, and now the Han's gun going with the control phase shot at Jabba. That should be a hit. That is a hit. So it's going to be another drain of 2 off the reserve. He used the mishap to pull Leia's gun super early, and yeah, the fact that Daniel didn't grab anything, and especially didn't grab mishap, was like, Daniel has not played this game as well as he could have. That's just I'm not trying to be mean. Like, he did not play this game particularly well. I don't think this is a matchup. I think he is slightly advantaged, but he was not able to take advantage of it. He's going to lose by 12, it looks like, unless Andrew can get one of those cards back. So, and he's going to cancel Scum to put 1 more card in Lost Pile, because again, it does matter. Like, this is a match play game. So there's Corran Horn on the wild card just to give him ability. So, and honestly, like, yeah, there's no reason not to battle. If you know you're going to draw 5, you draw your 5, and it's only a 3, so he doesn't draw enough to kill. But neither does Daniel, although that is going to cause 2 force loss if he doesn't lose Corran Horn. I think you have to lose Corran. Like, I actually think that might have ended up being just a waste. So you could have just moved away. Like, I think you just have to move away. I think you battle with Luke here. Now that you've got him flipped, you battle with Luke. You cause a... You're not going to cause a ping. Nope, he draws a 1 for Battle Destiny. So he loses a guy, and you lose nothing. Like, that's perfectly fine, perfectly reasonable battle for Andrew. So I think he's got to move away. He eats the drain of 1, which will be a card from hand. Oh, instead he moves Booster over, which is also fine. I don't think it particularly matters. I'm just trying to think it's even worth the... Like, he battles for free, so that he activated 1. I mean, you could battle in space, I guess, if you draw the 7. That doesn't matter. You draw 5, you kill 1 ship. It doesn't really matter beyond that. You're just trying to put 1 more card in his lost pile before you battle with Gor Koresh and Peel to end the game. There we see the crush search, so it's what is there. So I think that top, or no, we don't know what that top card is. He used that. He used that one to move. So the card below that top card is a 1, but that's not going to come into play. So, yep, there's the battle with Gore. So obviously it was a low enough destiny. He wasn't going to crack the immunity. And yeah, Daniel's going to lose by 12. With lost piles of 20 and 41. Ooh, ouch. All right, that lost pile is going to be big. Okay, so Andrew by 12. Let's put in the see if they're going to play again right away. Yep, and that so we see Daniel just specifically said, I didn't realize you could get Luke back so many times, because that was that hurt. But again, there were a couple things he did there that were a little bit rough. I'm just watching chat to see if they say they're playing game 2 right away. Are they going to take a 5-minute break? What are we? Well, let's see what's going on. And Daniel asking, I mean, it is 11. Okay, so it's 11:30 for Andrew, but Andrew says, hey, let's play it now. So we will flip back here to watch for it. Look at all these games going on right now. I love seeing Gemp super busy. That's awesome how much is going on there. And we will see how this how game 2 goes. Daniel is down by 12. If memory serves, Andrew is on some sort of dark deal deck, and I think Daniel might be on Legend, but I'm just not sure. We'll wait for them to get started. That was a fun game to watch. Like that was so we'll see when they get the game up and running. Might be just giving it a second here. So I'm going to go to a short break screen just to give us a minute to get things going. And I'm going to mute myself as well for just a second, and I will be back as soon as the game starts. All right, so I'll bring myself back on for a little bit just to chat before the game gets going. As I said, we got a whole bunch of GEMP is popping right now. We got the Premier to Reflections 2 Modified Series. If you haven't signed up for the Retro GEMPC yet, it is signups close in a couple days. It's a Premier to Death Star 2 MPC format, so it'll be match play. Deck lists are due, I think, by the 12th. It's all available on the forum. Bill Biscos is running it. It'll be fun. I mean, Retro is premiered at Star 2. It's a different game than what you're seeing in Open. Like if you're an open player, it's going to feel a little bit slower. It's a different game, but it's certainly it's still Star Wars cards. Star Wars cards are still fun. And yeah, there are some great prizes. Again, get yourself signed up. The information's on the forums and how to sign up, where to sign up, and get the deck lists into the deck list email, and get yourself going. Looks like Daniel's got game 2 up. Again, I don't actually know what he's playing. Like I said, he's a teammate, but he's not. I don't look at decks and remember for sure what everybody is playing because I want to be surprised while I do this commentary because it's more fun. It's fun to get excited and be excited about the cool plays that happen. And there were some cool plays that last game. I mean, that getting Luke back a couple times was insane. Those Mandalorian mishaps were so well timed that they just absolutely wrecked Daniel's day. And yeah, being able to Daniel getting jumped in on the ground. So here, game 2 is live again. Daniel did lose by 12, so it is Deal versus Legend. That was what I thought. So basically, this is going to come down to, can Daniel take him off of Bespin? Like with Daniel's objective flips, he limits the immunity to whatever, 5 or something, less than 6. So he can flip the objective and then have the immunity reduction to kill Executor. And if he can take space, he wins this game. Now he's still got to win by more than 12, but like that's what it's going to take. And we see the I'm Sorry V. You can't hide forever mode points, which is going to go get Executor. And then Imperial Decree V. And Daniel starting Be With Me, Walkling, and a Brave Resistance. And we see Andrew going with Real Hero right away to go get Lobot, Lando's Broker. The Lobot and Lando locations are going to be immune to Menace Fades. Like, that's not necessarily ideal. And Daniel says, well, I'm going to suspend mode points. Andrew's a good enough player. I expect he didn't make that mistake. But all of us have made that mistake before. So, and there we see he's going to go get 3PO. Oh, they are not VHD. Thank you very much. Let's get those fixed. I apologize. That was... let's see, player is... Let's see. And dark side player. I'll be honest, fixing little things like that is one of those things I do struggle with at times. ADHD sucks. And that's one of those things. I ran the clock for a lot of times for my kids' hockey games, and the number of times that game was always in the first period because I forgot that stupid little button was more than I want to admit to. So we see Heisenberg gets Poe and Finn Resistance Hero. from Brave Resistance. Poe is going to put in work. Like, this is, he's got to take space. And the thing is, it's going to be hard for Andrew to move away from Bespin because he has to have Vader on the Executor to move it, and you don't want Vader in the Executor. So we're seeing the I'm sorry will pull a sight. Like, Andrew's getting his start, and he's happy with it. Is it going to be enough? And there's Lando. So Andrew's going with an aggressive line, I think, and I don't hate that. Like, there's Lando and Lobot, and they're going to drain for 3 pretty quick there, because it's a drain +1 from the Port Town district, and then what is it? Does he have to be flipped to make it drain +1? Oh no, it's just your bonuses can't be canceled with the. Yeah. So we see Garinda and Imperial Spy go down as well. So he's got a bunch of aliens there for cheap, and he draws a few. And there's double back to go get a bounty hunter. So this is going to be. Oh, he's got a second ship. That is going to make things real interesting. That Zuckuss and Forlom and Mist Hunter is going to be a problem for Daniel to try and take him out of space. Because if you can just say, okay, fine, you can only ever draw 1, and a lot of my guys forfeit for like 6-ish on the ground up in space, like, that's going to be a slog to try and grind through those guys, and I don't know if he can do it. He's going to have an answer for that ship. Daniel gets the Octo Cliffs. Okay. And he goes and gets Luke with the saddle. So Padme only adds attrition draws with a Skywalker, and there's no Skywalkers in this deck, I don't think. Because, yeah, Rey's not a Skywalker. Like, that's going to be a struggle. Yeah, Darklighter spin would put in work. And honestly, like, he may be running an X-Wing and cannons. Like, I don't know. And I'm not sure exactly what his plan is for this, but I mean, he's got the one Skywalker, but he's going to be on Octo until he flips and does something. And there we see the antechamber. So, like, Daniel's going to have enough force to do whatever he wants next turn. And there's 3PO going down, so he can start cycling things. Like, I think he's just got to be aggressive with trying to take space, and that Zuckuss and Mist Hunter is going to be a problem. But if he can crack that 5, like, if he can get it early, and that might have been, if Andrew didn't grab Executor right away, he has to put Zuckuss and Mist Hunter up there just to satisfy to go get it, and then he's got to find it. Like, it's not ideal, but again, I think Andrew had it in hand. He just said, I'm going to wait to do anything with it. And this is what he's got to do. And we see the battle plan. So he says, you can drain, but you're going to pay for it. Yeah, my dog does not like it when people come into the house, and it doesn't even matter that it's my daughter who lives here, and he's known for most of his life. He still barks whenever somebody opens the door. And yep, dogs do that. So, and we see Andrew goes and gets Dark Deal before he does anything, and then Luke will go get Force Projection. And then he's going to 3PO a card. I wonder what it can be. So it'll be his Force Projection. Do I have? I'm not doing that. I want that. So, yeah, we see the something get 3PO'd back, and then Andrew draws a card with Vader with Lando, and now drains for 2 at the Port Town District. Oh, what the heck just happened there? I'm sorry. That was... Alright, I'm trying to get something cleared here, and it's not... Alright, chat is being really obnoxious all of a sudden. There we go. Okay. Oh, never mind. We didn't get there the way I thought we did. Okay. Sorry, trying to fix chat so I can read it is something's being obnoxious, and that's just Streamlabs and Twitch. So we see the carbonate chamber coming down from reserve after the move, and there's Zuckuss and Lando. There's Zuckuss and Forlom, which flips his objective, turns mob points back on. There's Dark Deal, so he does probably want to wait on the mob points pull until he's, recirculated and or drawn what he's going to draw to maximize his chances of getting Executor. So that's just the best thing he can do. So yeah, he's got Dark Deal out there. So Dark Deal's now going to add the drains are +1 everywhere you have an Alien Imperial pair. And if you just won a battle, take a card from your use pile into hand, which is very good. And yep, we're going to see everybody move over and hang with Lando because you just have 3 little guys, so you don't want to separate them and ask to get ask to have something go wrong. And we see Andrew draws all but 1. So, and Daniel activates, and there we see the go get the Executor. So yeah, he did make that mistake. All right, well, that definitely helped Daniel, I think, a little bit in slowing it down. Now he's got to have an answer for. He's got to figure out a way to go through that Zuckuss and Forlom, though, because I don't think you can win this game if you just take Jakku and hope. Like, I think you've got to have like a Falcon with an all wings or some sort of beef to get through the Zuckuss and Forlom. And we see Lando activate a force. And I'm not sure what Daniel's line is here. Like, you don't really want to go to ground, like raise Q, but you have to worry about a real hero just ruining your day. So we see the 3PO, probably that same force projection over and over again. And Daniel's got 15 force to work with, and he's got to make something happen. Like, because again, he's got to win by 13. Like, the lost pile difference was huge. It was 21. Yeah, he had 41 cards and lost to Andrew's 20 because Andrew had so many cards on the table. Like, he needs to win by 13, and to do that, he needs to make something happen here soon. Because if he lets Andrew just get set up, Andrew doesn't have to open himself up too much. I'm trying to think. So, like, Yeah, Lobot is gonna Lobot plus Corindon are gonna be a problem. Thank you, Worm Time, subscribing with Prime. That is awesome. Um, I mean, Daniel's still in his activate. He does have the once per game take any card into force pile, and I think he's probably just trying to figure out, is this the time to do it? Yep, so he is gonna grab a card from force pile, and I think it's probably just a, did I activate one of the cards that works to set up my combo? Because he needs that. He needs that put together, and he needs to be able to come at it fairly hard. So he took a card. I don't know what it is, but I'm pretty sure it was good. We're just going to stick with that. It was good. And I think he's got to go to space. Like that's the line here. You've got the Poe, so whatever ship he's on is going to be immune to less than 5. So you go, I think you go at Zuckuss and Forlom and figure out a way to clear them. So we're into deploy. Like I say, he's got 14 cards in hand and 14 force. Daniel's got to have something he can do here. I don't know. I mean, if his deck kind of decided just to sort of fall apart on him, I'm not sure how you catch up from that right now. Like, that's the biggest thing, is where are you going with this? Because you can't tell me with 14 cards in hand, and especially with one of those coming from your force pile that had 15 options, there's no way you can't have found what you needed. And all right, so he did not find space, or he's waiting to go to space. Instead, we see Rey, all of the Jedi, coming down at the dining room. And Rey will go get a saber. It'll probably be Leia's, so she's defense value 7, and more importantly, immune to less than 6. But like, one real hero is gonna crack that 6 pretty quickly. So we've got to see something go on here. And there's secret plans, which is fine. That's pretty expected start. Like, Rey, honestly, I'm not sure Rey's living through this battle. I think she's probably hoping to just get the damage she can. So Garindon can be sent to use pile to cancel a just drawn weapon destiny. I mean, you can swing at Garindon to guarantee it goes through. If you think your destiny are high enough, you can go the other way. So we see General Leia go to the Port Town District. So he is going to retrieve with the Rey battle, which is fine. Like, if you think you can take him off ground, do your thing. Like, that's going to be what needs to happen. So, and that's exactly what needs to happen. So, all right, and he does not battle. He just says, "All right, I'm confused." So we see Andrew ditching "you can't head for every remote points" to go get an effect. I think security precautions was probably the effect, and I'm not sure what else he would have had that would have gone for that. But also, my guess is he's not running a ton of weapons, so Rey is probably doesn't need to worry about the -1 to defense value. We do see him draw a card with Lando and activate 14. Like, I'm worried this is going to end real bad real quick. There's Adrena 1 at Bespin. Like, you could move Lando, but you're not moving Lando away and then battling Rey, because then you don't have the ability there. Like, if you're going to battle, you battle with those two and then Real Hero. And there's the Force Push combo to go get 2 cards, put 2 cards from hand and get 1 from Force Pile. Yeah, this is probably not good for Daniel. So we'll see what the play is here, but I think Andrew's setting up something that's going to hit real hard, and it's simply a matter of what he hits hard with. So, because I mean, I could absolutely see Daniel ending this with no cards in, or no ability on Cloud City. And he didn't draw any after he deployed Leia and Rey. So, like, what? I don't know what his plan is there. There's Clay. He moved Lando during control phase using the objective and dropped Cloud City occupation. So he's going to start causing some ping damage as well. That's, again, like, this is, it is what it is. All right, so he's throwing Piet at the Port Town district. Probably just as forfeit fodder, but, like, oh, there's Shizor on top of General Leia, so now Leia does not get a Battle Destiny there. Yeah, this is not ideal. And there's First Strike. And Daniel is shield busted already, so he's not going to... Oh, no, he's got the Hear Me Baby to play a defensive shield, so he'll throw out Aim High, which is honestly a fairly low stakes play right now. Like, I'm still trying to figure out how he's not going to just get murdered. That Leia was a really aggressive play that was kind of low upside, honestly. Like, it was you're putting Leia there, I think, thinking if you battle with Rey, then you get your retrieval, but if you don't battle with Leia, you're just asking her to get jumped. So there we see the flip. Luke gets placed out of play. So it stops all weapons from being fired, and then here's the It's a Trap to cancel the battle. All right, so that's why he did what he did, and he got Andrew to play a lot of cards to the Port Town district that, you know, are now just kind of sitting there, but are going to be draining for 3 pretty quickly if we don't see something happen. Although, I mean, Andrew's got to move. I mean, I think he's got to move somebody back with Lovat and Grindon. Like, I don't think you want to leave there. I mean, you could... Yeah, I think you move Piet over. Like, there's no reason to... You can't just leave him there. So I think Piet's got to come over to back up. And then it's a question of what is... Oh, all right. So instead he's moving them both away, saying, I don't think you can do anything to me. And it does put the drain up there, but, like, does he want to pay? I mean, paid 3 to drain for 3 isn't terrible, but, like, you need those cards to... You still need to do something here. And that's what I'm just not sure what his end goal is here. So there's another double back to go get somebody, probably like Dan's Boring or Dengar. Oh, Boba Fett with blaster rifle. Ooh. Boba Fett, EPP Boba V is real good. And we'll see when he comes down, but he can start capturing guys. And There's resistance, so Ray's going to be, that drain will be capped at 2, which is probably not worth draining. Like, again, I don't know what's necessarily in Daniel's hand, but this is going to be a rough. He's got to do something this turn. And especially with Piet accounted for, like, it makes the idea of fighting in space a little better, because Andrew would have to be deploying and then moving up to Executor. Like, if you can take out Zuckuss here, this is the play. And I think this is what you have to do. So we did see Andrew used Admiral Piet to go get Mithron Nudo from reserve deck. He is a commander. So again, it's more just another body who's an alien Imperial, which helps with the objective. And just a strong body no matter what. Like, 3 deploy, 6 forfeit, can cause force loss when you move. Like, he's just good. And also would be real nasty on Zuckuss and Mist Hunter. Or Zuckuss and Forlom and Mist Hunter. Like, Thrawn being up there now turns it into the, I think if you can take out, you have to take Zuckuss out this turn. Like, that's your line. Let me see the peak at the top cards, so he can put them back wherever he wants. I mean, in theory, if he can stack a 5 or 6 up there to know he can take out Zuckuss, that might be the play right now. Like, if you got one, do it. Because, yeah, battle order's going to add up quick. Getting rid of occupation would be good. There we see the 3PO, so he put a card on top of his reserve deck that he wanted in hand, so he went to 3PO to go get it, and there's the free ride Endor Celebration to cancel occupation. And that gets grabbed, which, I don't know, that doesn't feel like a great grab to me by Andrew. Like, I'm not sure he's running more than 1 occupation. And because the objective caps it at 2, like, there's not a lot of value in, you're not like trying to spread and get a bunch of occupation pings going. It's, you know, one thing. And there's the Falcon with Solo. And there's the barrier. Now, does he have an answer for the barrier? Does not look like it. I think he's probably contemplating grabbing it. Yep, so he doesn't have an answer for the barrier. The barrier goes through and goes to used. I mean, you're okay there because you still have, it's the Falcon still maneuver 6 with Solo piloting. Like, if you're just going to pile a couple more ships up there and say, all right, even if you come at me, like, figure out how you do this. You know, and he might be sitting on reacting, or yeah, you don't think he could play that Chewie reacting. So I'm not sure what else he's going to do up there in space. It might just be a here's Poe to grant me even more immunity. Excuse me, I guess the same amount of immunity, but threaten 2 battle destinies. And one of them, you know, you can spin for a 6 and make things interesting quick. You're going to have to move around on the ground. And I don't know if the answer to that is move Rey just over with Leia and say, okay, well, I've got Leia's forfeit fodder. Rey's going to hit somebody. And, you know, try and clear that out a little bit. And just accept that you're going to eat a drain of 2 at the Lobot and Garinden site. Like, you can't stop all the damage right now, so it's figure out what damage you're willing to accept. But if you move Rey over, like, I mean, he might just say, fine, I'll move Lobot or I'll move Lando during my deploy or during a control. Drain 2, drain 1, and go. But yeah, Daniel's tanking hard, trying to figure out the what he wants to do. That is, he realizes that a mistake here is real bad. And there's gold leader and gold 1. Oh, so Andrew does not have any force saved, and amusingly enough, if you watch the Jawa Cup, Gold Leader and Gold One put in a whole bunch of work against him, and he and I have joked in private about how much Gold Leader and Gold One is bad for him, and he said specifically, he's like, I'm not going to run into anything with Gold Leader and Gold One here. And yes, he is going to run into something with Gold Leader and Gold One, as we see Lando, Hero of the Republic, going down. There's a real hero to take Lobot into hand. Really just to cycle the real hero. You'd rather have a 4 in there than 3. The problem with Lando is you're not drawing an extra battle destiny, and you're still only maneuver 3, so you're going to have to, you got to have a 5. And he didn't have it because he Landoed 2 reveal and shuffle. So yeah, that barrier put him in the tank, and now he's trying to figure out what does he do here. I think you still battle. Oh, all right. He's not battling. He moves Leia away. Yeah, because Lando can't add a power destiny either. But he would have drawn battle destiny. It would have been 4 plus destiny. But yeah, I don't understand not battling unless you just really wanted to save that force. Yeah, Ming, I'm a little confused myself. You can't, there's no downside to the battle. And in that case, you're not drawing a 0. So the worst thing that happens is you tie on the battle, you cause a ping with first strike, and you're fine with that. And yeah, that drain of 3 stings a little bit. He loses the Tanev, transmission terminated, and Din Djarin. So yeah, he would have drawn a 1 with the Tanev. I think I probably would have moved Rey over with Leia and said, start a battle. Tell me how this works for you. And we see 2 handles go off the top to that drain. Yeah, Mike, I don't think he's playing 2 Zuckuss ship. Honestly, I'm a little surprised he's playing 1. This Zuckuss ship is not a card I necessarily expected to see in here. If he's playing another ship, it's probably Mara. But I just... most of these, you're really just running the... you're just running Executor and going nuts at it. And there's the Executor control station. What in the... Okay, so it makes it cheaper instead of the they must never again leave the city. So there's Bewell going down there, and there's the Executor, there's Mithranudo. Again, I think not starting the battle was kind of a mistake. He saved 2 destiny. Just not sure what he's going to do. And there's Bewell, who goes to get an interrupt from his force pile. And he gets the force push combo that he's already used, so that's fine. There's Boba Fett with blaster rifle. He's just forfeit fodder. What you're worried about right now is, can you survive the all wings combo for 6? And there is a second occupation. All right. Like what you're facing here is the can I survive the O-Wings combo for 6? But like there's not another, you're not getting another Destiny there. Because solo doesn't, you don't have Poe or anyone with you. Like that's where I think I think Poe would have been better than Lando. I understand. I think Daniel's figuring out to save some force that he wanted, and they're okay. So Andrew started a battle and now left himself no force to draw Battle Destiny. Oh, he's going to put Decree out of play to draw, if not able to otherwise. All right, that was why it was the Decree virtual. So Daniel saw that before the rest of us, and that was a smart play by him. And he uses Gold Leader to force you to pay 1. There's Dark Time. That'll probably just be the Lando. And there's Force Projection to subtract it from opponent's total battle destiny. There's a 1. Ooh. And Chewie's a card he really would have liked to have there. So it's a 3 to total battle destiny. I mean, his total battle destiny is going to go down and then cancel and redraw. Oh, the cancel and redraw stops. Oh, no, he still draws the 3, draws the double backs. His total battle destiny is 4, which Lando covers. Like, that's all you're worried about there. And there's a 4 for battle destiny. He doesn't have a way to add 1 to it, which is the unfortunate part. Like, I think you're losing Lando, and then you just peel a couple. And that Chewie is in the worst possible spot. Like, yeah, there's Unita, BB-8, and there's a Sorry combo. So now Andrew can't move anyone. Like, he's not drawing Battle Destiny again. That's all right. He just moves Be Well up. Like, so he's got a bunch of forfeit up there. And that's what is kind of the issue, I think, that Daniel's going to have to deal with is the Zuckuss and Misthunter plus Executor means there's a lot of Zuckuss stops Punch It, and Punch It Vampire Hunter has to be played in defensively. So Punch It would not hit at all. And there went the client and Shurdu to the drain at the dining room. Here we'll see the Rey, all of the Jedi retrieval. I mean, what you're going to see here, I think, is what you've got to see is Poe on the Gold Leader and Gold 1. And then probably a second pilot on the Falcon if he's got one. And we see, sorry about the mess, placed out of play. And he's going to retrieve the transmission terminated, which is fine. But yeah, Zuckuss stops a lot of stuff in space. And yeah, Punch It is defensive only. And there's exactly what I said, Poe on Gold Leader and Gold 1. So now he's got some decent power, but again, like, what's your answer in space? And there's Dash up there as well, who Dash subtract. Ooh, actually, Dash will also subtract from the total power with because Boba Fett's up there, and we see Poe, Resistance Hero, come down in front of Lobot and Gurinden. He does not have 4 ability there. Like, Poe's gonna do good things, and there's the battle. He can retrieve with Leia. He is going to retrieve with Leia. And then first strike. He is not going to retrieve with first strike. All right. And, oh, he did retrieve with first strike. Okay. Thought it was canceled. Okay. So he did pay to retrieve. So he got Unita back. And now he'll cause a force loss. Loses Coruscant rough and irritating. And he's going to do the peak and probably give himself another force. Yep. Moves the place to the top card from force pile room reserve deck on force pile, and then puts the top card of his force pile on his force pile. So he's got a Destiny to power plus a Battle Destiny here. And Andrew says, oh, I got enough out of the Tarkin's Bounty. Let's send it back with Lobot, or with Lando. There's Vice Admiral Holdo as a Destiny to power. So he's power 6 to 3. Now both those guys forfeit. Lobot forfeits for 6, and Garindum forfeits for 5. There's Menace Fades as a 4, so his total power is 10 to 3. I mean, he's already got a Lobot in hand, so yeah, he loses one and he loses Lobot. And he's got a force active now, so he can draw in space, although dash will again subtract that. So there's force first strike to cause a ping. Yeah, Andrew chooses not to, Daniel chooses not to retrieve because he wants to save a force still for his grabber or whatever he wants to use. So Zuckuss, oh yeah, or draw more than one Battle Destiny. So why is Poe not adding one? I'm not sure. Well, we'll see here. So there's, that he knew that was there. That's the Chewie he knew was there. So it forced him to pay 1 to draw 1. And it's a 4. And now he can cause the redraw. And now he stops. He can't pay for the redraw. And he should be able to dash. Okay, he just loses dash. I'm very confused on how all of that went, because he should have been able to add a Battle Destiny. And then dash should have been able to subtract from things because he was battling against a thing, although I think that might be a GEMP thing where if there's no attrition, it doesn't allow dash to fire. And there's the drain of 3 at the Port Town District. And I expect Andrew's just going to try and jump Finn here. There's Where's Han, Chewie with Bowcaster, and there's the All Wings combo. That he really would have liked a whole lot earlier. And there's a ping of 2 with Occupation. I mean, Daniel's getting into the red zone here real hard. Yeah, dash can't subtract because there's no attrition. It is weird because there was still power though, and dash subtracts from attrition and total power. So I understand that's how GEMP works. I thought that was a glitch though, because I thought he's supposed to work to subtract from the total power even if there is no attrition. Okay, well then I will trust you, Ming, and that's, I guess it's, if there's nothing to subtract from one of them, you can't go with it. So
oh, hi.
So yeah, and Pisone, he does, or yeah, he can have EPP Maul, but Andrew won't. That's not how Andrew does things. The Vader with Saber is perfectly cromulent option though. So, and this might be about it for Andrew. Oh yeah. He says, well, if you got that one card as a Hoojix, good luck. And I mean, it reasonably could be. Like, Hoojix would be a card he'd want to, you know, that would justify leaving Finn alone. But I think that's I said, oh, he's playing solo to play an interrupt. All right. So he paid solo because, yeah, Andrew did not play the anti-solo shield, and he's moving Ray as a react. This is sitting for a long time, which tells me Andrew has a react canceller of some sort, I think. And if he does, that's probably game. Um, where is it? So, oh, it moves as a react, but it does not move for free. So because he had to pay the one for first strike, he didn't have one to move Ray. And yep, that's going to be it. So Finn is hit and forfeit 0. Daniel does not have any force to pay for a Hujix, although, I mean, I guess he's not going to be necessarily down that much with the Destiny to attrition, or the Destiny power plus the Battle Destiny. He can weather it, but it's not ideal. Yep, and he just said, no force to move. He was wondering, that is a... Yep, and Andrew was like, yeah, I had to check as well. So there's Eisen. He draws Ben and uses Ben to take Ray into hand. Thanks for watching, man. Like I do enjoy. I like talking about the game. I like talking to people, and I think it's super important to stream. I think streaming is very, very valuable. So I want to make sure we stream as much as we can. So yeah, so I understand dash is coded. The rules say you subtract from attrition and total battle destiny, so both of those, or attrition and total power, so both of those need to exist. And attrition of 0 exists versus attrition that doesn't happen. So I understand the ruling. I don't necessarily think it's correct, but I do, that is the way it goes. So, yep, there we see Daniel concedes the match as he was going to peel 11 and put him in a position where he wasn't going to win. So, Daniel loses and Andrew advances to the top 16. I don't know who his opponent is, and I don't have it in me to go digging for it right now because it is almost 11:30 and I am old. So, thank you all for watching. Congratulations to Andrew for advancing, and I hope y'all have a great night.